Education Over Debt channel. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment below. I am Sheena Hogue, and I'm so glad you joined me. This will be a place where I give practical financial tips that anyone can understand and you can begin to implement now. Today's topic is a tough one. Today I want to talk about investing. Many times people ask the question, well, what's the difference between savings and investing? The goal for savings is capital preservation. The time horizon is typically less than a year. So a lot of times you hear people refer to this as your emergency day fund or your rainy day fund. If something unexpected was to happen, you go to your savings account to get the monies that you need immediately to address the concern. On the other hand, investing involves anything that's long term, and this focus is capital appreciation. Whenever we think about capital appreciation, we know that risk may be involved. In most cases, the first place people hear about investing is with their retirement account. You think about retirement because usually it's 20 to 30 years out when you will actually use the money. So you think investing for your retirement account. Retirement is the day that a company stops paying you and you begin to pay yourself. So you ask yourself, how am I going to do that? What does that look like? Will your mortgage, health bills, credit cards, student loans be paid off when you retire? And how long do you expect to be in retirement? Are you thinking about having an early retirement, retiring when you're like 50 or in your 60s? If so, then that means you'll be in retirement for about 20 to 30 years. So how are you going to account for all those years? In most cases, when people retire, in the first few years, they like to do the things they didn't do when they were younger, such as travel around the world, spend time with their grandkids, do any activity that they feel like they missed out on while they was young. As they get older, though, we see that people begin to slow down, and usually they may have a few more health challenges. So, when you're talking to your financial professional about retirement, you want to ask them those questions like, not only do I want to have enough money for me when I retire and to last as long as I'm in retirement, because I never heard anyone say they wanted to go back to work. But you also want to ask them, how can I protect against I have any healthcare challenges? In some cases, they may talk to you about like a long-term care policy or any other type of annuity policy. But you want to be sure to ask those questions because what you don't want to happen is you're in retirement, living your best life, and then something with your health happens, and now you're using your money to pay for health expenses versus to live off of for your retirement. So now we have a situation where your healthcare expenses are now causing your retirement assets to dwindle a lot faster than it would if you were just paying for retirement. Now, I know some of you may be saying, okay, but what about investing in between now and retirement? Okay, I don't want to wait another 20 to 30 years. What can I do today to start investing? And we refer to those as our non-retirement accounts. Again, anything that's not focused on retirement. So your non-retirement accounts, the type of accounts you have are your individual joint account, your transfer on death accounts, your TOD accounts, or cash value from your life insurance policies. Now, TOD account, what that means is just that when you die, your money will transfer immediately to your beneficiaries. It's set up a little differently than your individual or your joint accounts. The cash value from your life insurance policies usually is tied to some type of index annuity or something where they would base it off of a benchmark or what's going on in the market, and then you could take out cash accordingly based off your needs. In any case, all of these investment things that I've mentioned today, whether it's investing for retirement or investing in your non-retirement accounts, they involve being in the stock market. And as we know, in the stock market, there are going to be some ups and there are going to be some downs. We know that there's going to be some risk associated with it. But what we have learned over the past 25 years, the S&P 500 has given an average rate of return of about 9%. So what that means is that although we've had some ups and we've had some downs, overall, it has outpaced inflation. As we know, with the stock market, just like with anything else in life, there's seasons. Some seasons are good and some seasons aren't so good. So investing requires that long-term discipline, focus, where it's not about what your immediate need is. It's more so about what you're doing over the next few years. So that's why you want to be clear about when you plan to use the monies that you want to invest. Do you plan to use it in the next 3 to 5 years, or do you plan to use it in 20 to 30 years? When we think about short-term investing, we also like to think about why would people invest short-term, right? People may invest short-term to save up for a house, or if something in that house breaks, they may want to pull monies from their investment accounts instead of their emergency fund. So for example, let's say if there's a hailstorm and your roof get damaged. Now this is something that's out of the ordinary, yes, but you may not want to pull from your savings account to account for repairing your roof. And so that's when you would go to your investment accounts to see if you could pull their monies from there to repair your roof. So that's why we call it like your intermediate funds. If it's in between your retirement and your today, that's usually like the intermediate time horizon, which could again be anything from anything greater than a year up to like 15, 20 years or what have you. Recently in the news, we heard of Apple and Tesla doing a stock split. Apple had a 4-for-1 stock split and Tesla had a 5-for-1 stock split. Many people were asking the questions, okay, what is a stock split? What does that mean for me? Should I start investing in Tesla or Apple? Now, I can't answer the question about if you should start investing in Tesla or Apple, but what I can do is tell you what a stock split is. A stock split is any time the market price in an individual stock decreases while there is no change in total market capitalization. So let me give you an example of what that looks like. Here we have an apple. Let's say this apple represents one share of Apple stock for $100. If there was a 2-for-1 stock split, we would now have 2 shares of Apple stock, each at $50. If we had a 4-for-1 stock split, we would now have 4 shares at $25 each. So what just happened? Basically, we reduced the market price of each of the shares of stock when there was a stock split. So for the 2-for-1 stock split, we reduced it in half and it was $50 each share. For the 4-for-1 stock split, we reduced it and each share was now worth $25. So if there's a stock split that occurs in the market, that may be an opportune time for you to purchase the stock because now the price is lower. In any case, you always want to talk to your financial professional to see what works best for you to help you reach your financial goals. Whenever you begin to invest, you always want to ask yourself these 4 questions. Why do I plan to invest? What is the purpose for me using this money? The second question is, when do I plan to use the money that I'm investing? The third question is, how much risk can I tolerate? This deals with managing your emotions and having that discipline over the long term. And then the last question is, how much are the fees and expenses associated with investing? Those are the questions that you want to ask before you begin to invest. To get started with investing, like I mentioned earlier, you can easily get started in your retirement accounts or your non-retirement accounts. In some cases for your non-retirement accounts, we have a lot of easy ways to get started with the spare change accounts. So I'm sure many of you may have heard of Stash and Acorns, where they allow you to invest your spare change. What that means is, let's say you go and buy something for $10.50. They will take the 50 cents and begin to invest it. So anytime you have change left over, they round up to the next dollar and take that change to invest. Now, I know some of you may be concerned, will this overdraft my account? In most cases, if they see that your account balance is low, they will send an email to say, hey, your account balance is low. We're not going to take out any monies right now to invest it. And then once they see that things are returned back to normal, then they'll begin to pull the monies to invest it. So that's an easy way to start investing and through your spare change. Another thing that you can do to invest, a lot of financial institutions allow you to invest systematic contributions of like $50 a month. So you just set up a day, like the 20th of the month, and then a financial institution will come in and pull out the $50 and invest in whatever you allocated to. So if you want it to go into mutual funds or stocks or what have you, they will pull the monies out and then systematically invest. This is a great incentive because now it's easier for people to start investing versus in the past you had to have $5,000 or $2,500 just to get started. So now if you set up systematic contributions, it's a lot easier to get started, or you can always get started with the spare change account. In any case, make sure you reach out to your financial advisor to talk to him about investing. What are some of your goals? What are some of your financial goals? And then how much risk can you tolerate to get there? Thank you for watching this short video on investing. I hope that you learned something that you can begin to implement today. Reach out to your financial professional and ask them, how can you get started with investing? What are some of your financial goals? And what are some of the risks that you should be concerned about to achieve those goals? If you learned something in this video and you found it to be beneficial, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. There will be more videos talking about basic little simple financial tips that you can begin to implement today.